What you do with this technology is you install this product in your home. This is an AC coupled battery. We'll go into that in a bit, what that means. But you install it, you get yourself on a smart tariff that offers cheap off-peak charging. You fill this up, that runs your house throughout the day. And if you've got any spare capacity left, you can either choose to retain that in your battery, or you can dump it and sell it to the grid. And you can get paid sort of sometimes 5, 6, 7 times the amount that you've paid for the energy by selling it back to the grid. So very, very popular product. What people like about battery only as well is if you're going to move house, you can just take it with you. So they're not massively expensive to reinstall. It's an asset that has a value, and it's a bit of a gateway product into renewables. What we're finding, lots of people are doing battery only systems. 2-3 months later, I fancy some solar panels, because you go through the same experience that I had that we talked about at the start, which you start getting the apps and you start looking at what you're using in your home, and then you think, right, well, if I could charge my panels up, so I could charge my battery up from my panels, I can start to export that, and yeah, it spiraled.
And I sort of did it the other way around. I ordered the solar panels and the batteries at the same time.
Yeah.
But there were a problem, we had COVID and stuff like that, and they couldn't get the batteries at the time. And I had the solar panels, and then I was getting all this energy through there. And then I was buying energy on a night, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, what's going on? Can you get these batteries installed for me as quick as you can? And then obviously they installed the batteries, and then it got into winter, and I'm thinking, all right, well, we've not got much sun now. What can I do? So then I thought, oh, well, I can charge the batteries overnight on an overnight tariff, which were cheap. So my blended rate at the moment in this video today is about 8p for my electricity overall. So all the energy I use is blended at about 8p, which works out so cheap compared to a 30p tariff. So it just works out. And also we've been selling energy back to grid sometimes for up to £2 per kilowatt hour. And then there's times when Octopus Energy have been doing, if you don't use your energy at certain times, they'll give you some money back. So then all we're doing then is we just use batteries during that time.
Yeah, it's called DFS, that Demand Flexibility Service. So it's a popular scheme. Batteries open that up for you as well, so you can take part in buying cheap energy, using it throughout the day. You can sell it at peak rates. You can sign up to something called DFS, not the sofa company, which is Demand Flexibility Service. So basically, the grid in the UK is properly stressed between about 4 p.m. and 8 p.m, spiking around 5 to 6, because everyone comes home, everyone's making tea, everyone's ovens are on, kettles are going, and that's when we buy lots of fossil-fueled energy, because fossil fuels are very high in their calorific value, so you can burn gas instantly, spin a turbine, and you can produce energy. What the energy companies are doing now is putting these schemes out and saying, hey, look, if you've got an alternative source of power in your property, we'll pay you for not using the grid.
Yeah.
And it can be really profitable.
And sometimes they have too much energy as well, don't they? And they need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So then sometimes they'll even pay you to take the energy away.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll just give you it for free, but they will actually sometimes pay you to take the energy away as well.
In Holland, last couple of weeks in Holland, midday, there's lots of energy coming into the grid that's being offered for free, or they're even paying you to take that energy. And it's because solar PV and renewables are getting really popular in for countries to supply their grids. If it's super sunny, they've got all this energy, they've got nowhere to go, they just give it you for free. So it's a brilliant product. It relies on a tariff. That's something to be aware of. Obviously, you can't just go on a standard tariff and charge it up, because you're going to pay the same amount of money. But these smart tariffs now are the latest thing. So all the energy suppliers are starting to offer dynamic tariffs, and batteries transforms.
We have had that sort of tariff, not like we've got now, but I mean, we had Economy 7 and stuff. Even back when I was a kid, we had different tariffs at different times.
Yeah.
Because some people say, oh, well, them tariffs might go away. Well, actually, they only seem to be getting bigger, don't they?
They're getting more popular because there's lots more renewables in the grid, And renewables are pretty unpredictable. So there's times when energy is in abundance, and that's when you want to soak it up into your battery. And times when energy is a bit scarce, that's when you rely on your battery to power your home, and you might even get paid for not using the grid. So they're a really, really popular product. I would say PV from a volume perspective is our bread and butter. You know, we do a lot of PV and a lot of battery. Battery only is the fastest growing product line.
What's the difference in different types of batteries then? Are they all doing the same job? Because I've got an issue with mine is that I don't have battery backup on my system.
Yeah.
I think you can do it, and there is things you can do and have one plug socket that works, stuff like that.
Yeah, EPS.
But then there's different systems where you can have full battery backup. So what do you offer?
So we offer both. So for something like a Tesla Powerwall 2, which is this product here, this will come with something called a gateway, which interrupts your supply to your home before it hits your fuse board. And if the grid drops instantaneously, it will take power from the battery. You wouldn't even see your lights flicker. So they're very popular in sort of rural properties, or properties where you've got sensitive equipment, so servers. We had a guy the other day, he trades futures, and he's like, my internet cannot go off, so I need backup, even though he lives in like central London. He did it. Medical, it's popular with as well, so people that have got medical equipment, you don't want a grid drop. That's one type of solution. These are probably the most popular solution for battery-only customers for two reasons. They're decent capacity, so they're 13.5 kilowatt hours. If you charge that up once a night, that'll give you 13.5 kilowatt hours for the period outside of the charging window. So 24 hours in a day. Depending on the tariff you're on, you'll either charge it up for 4 to 6 hours. So you've either got 20 or 18 hours it needs to last for. 13.5 kilowatt hours a day annual is about 5,000 kilowatt hours. So if you look at your bill.
The other thing to point out there as well is when you are topping the battery up on the cheap rate, try and use other things in your house as well at the same time.
100%.
So if you do want to, I don't know, do an immersion heater on your hot water cylinder or whatever, try and do that in them times as well.
Yeah, dishwashers, washing machines, dryers, immersion heaters, anything you can do in that cheap period, so you're only leaving your load. I've got a Tesla Powerwall 2 in my house, so busy family, busy house, and my energy is working out about £1 a day. Previously, it was costing about £3.50 without solar. So just battery, I've been able to third my bill, and there are times when my energy is, at the moment, because my energy usage is a bit lower in summer, my energy bill can be 20p, because anything I've got left at between 4 and 7, I'm selling for like 30p. My personal advice, sorry, just tap that. My personal advice would be, if you are an average family home using less than 5,000 kilowatt hours a year, just to make it super simple, the Tesla is the one you want. It's got an amazing app, it's 10-year warranty, it's dead reliable, it's got good capacity, it's got a high transfer charge and discharge rate, and no one has ever complained about having a Tesla. Just to explain what that means, when we say like how much you can get in, how much you can get out, batteries are measured in kilowatt hours, so that's the capacity. The way I describe this to anyone is, think of the capacity of the battery like a bathtub. It's how much water, how much energy it can hold. Think of the charge and discharge like the tap and the plug.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's the best way to describe it. So you can have a massive bath, but like all this storage here.
Yeah.
But if you've got a tiny little tap and a tiny little plug, it's sort of irrelevant.
Yeah.
If you've got, what you want is a balance. These do that really well because they're 13.5 kilowatt hours, but they've got a 5 kilowatt charge and discharge rate, and it can spike to 7,200 watt, 7.2 kilowatt if you get a high load. You put two of these together, everything doubles. So hypothetically, you can have 10 Powerwall 2s per phase. You could have 135 kilowatt hour storage, a swimming pool, and you could have 50 kilowatt charge and discharge, so basically a fireman's hose and a massive hole.
And that's something to take into consideration when you're buying batteries, because when I got this, Talking about fireman's hoses there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got this, originally I'm getting 3 kilowatts in, 3 kilowatts out. But when you're buying your energy on an overnight tariff, what that means is if you've got 5 hours where you can get 3 kilowatts in, you're only going to get, what's that, 15 kilowatts?
Yeah, 5 and 3 would be 15. Yeah.
Can't think today.
Yeah.
So you could only get 15 kilowatts in maximum in that period. So there'd be no point you buying like 43 kilowatt hours of batteries because they'd never charge up.
You don't have any cheap batteries. That we see all the time. People come to us, I've had this quote, and they've got a battery which is like a 3 kilowatt hour battery, and it's got a 1.5 kilowatt charge and discharge rate. And it's like, don't waste your money. It's just a complete waste. Don't do it, because you've still got to pay for the labour and all the stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to get it right.